Hello everybody and welcome back to Dalton's editing tutorial. Today we are going to be covering motion tracking, animating overlays, text, and green screens. So first we're going to import our footage. As always, you can come up right here. As you can see, we have our folder from our last tutorial all neat and organized. We're going to go here and import this. Now you can see I already imported it to the project previously, but this is not the first attempt at this recording. Now, for before you do motion tracking, you want to make sure that your footage is stable. Now, this footage is pretty stable. As you see, it does slightly move up. Capcut has a few features that can counteract this. Now, if you are a pro user, here's what you could do. You could go to stabilize. Usually the recommended level should be good enough. Sometimes footage is just too shaky and you need to have the more stable, but for most of a minimum cut is usually the best option. As you can see, the process is going to take a while. Depending on your footage and how shaky it is, it will take longer or shorter. While we are waiting on that, we can look for our options for motion tracking, if I can find it. Camera tracking, here we go. So, for camera tracking, now your first idea was like, oh, let's just use one of these three options, body, face, or hand. These work sometimes. I'll give you a example of why it doesn't work very good. This guy right here, even though you could see his body, he's got a backpack. This can obscure what is considered a quote unquote body. So if we go here, it will do a okay job at it, but it, when it gets done, you'll see no object to track. Eventually, it loses, it loses him. It doesn't know that he's there. So we're going to go to custom and we're going to set our own pinpoint. So we're going to want to use this arrow right here to point at our center of mass. And we're just going to roughly get the shape of the guy. It doesn't need to be too small. You want to make sure it's at least somewhat either as the size of your object or somewhere close. Like you can go a little bit out and you can go a little bit in, but you don't want to go too small or too big or it's not going to be good. So you want to find that middle ground and don't worry, it's going to mess up. You're going to have to do it multiple times to make sure you got a good selection. We're just going to do this. I'd say that's a pretty decent zoom in. You can see the object still kind of messed up, but that means we can go here and we're going to retry it again. It's a little better. I don't like how it's moving in and out, but it's doing okay. And there we go. We got a decent track. Now, as you can see, there is these things on the side. To remove this, you want to click the Fit to Canvas option. I'm going to turn off Blur Canvas because we're doing fit. And now, if we just play it, this should be tracked. Now, as you can see, it is kind of going up and down, so this is where I'm going to recommend this, the most stable stabilization mode. Uh, it's still going to be bouncy because that's what the tracking is. If you want it to be less bouncy, you can make the box longer or wider, depending on if it's not, in full frame. But do keep in mind, the more you do that, the more of a chance that it might not track it all the way. So make sure if you do that, it's footage that's not too long. Now I'm going to teach you how to motion track the opposite way. Now you might be thinking, what's the opposite way? This is where you have footage. We're going to just delete our old footage. We don't need that. Uh, this is where we're going to overlay with text or like stickers and such. So I'm going to teach you how to do a cool little effect with this tool. So first we're going to get text. Come over here at the text menu and click the plus. And we're just going to put some text that matches our video, you know, whatever you might need for the scene. That seems pretty fitting. We can move it over here. Now, if the text does not pop up, say we have like a color that, you know, is, oh, that's hard to read, you can always come down here to the styles, which will automatically apply font styles. But what I just like to do is just add a little stroke right here. If you're unaware what stroke means, it just means outline, essentially. That should be good. And for tracking, it is a similar process. First, make sure your clip is as long as your main footage down here, this layer. Uh, and click on motion tracking, and then start. You want to, well, not start just yet. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You want to put this on your person just like last time, but what this is going to do is apply the overlay to the core footage instead of just the footage being zoomed in and tracked. So we're going to do this. Now, once again, it does a decent job. Sometimes it might accidentally forget what's being tracked. Okay, that is a decent tracking. I mean, it's not the best. I will say Premiere Pro and After Effects or DaVinci Resolve do have better uh, tracking. DaVinci Resolve is free if you would like to try it and learn it. Uh, but that is the more advanced one. Capcut has some decent, uh, as I said multiple times, Capcut does have some decent effects, but they're not the most professional. Uh, and here is where we're going to make our footage look cooler. Now I'm going to move this footage over here. This is where we're going to do the effect where the text is behind the person as they're walking. So we're going to go over here to, this is what's going to be our top footage. Uh, Auto removal. Once again, this is a pro feature. They have made a lot of them professional, or a lot of them are pro now. I apologize. That is not, that is a horrible cutout. I mean, we can see if we can use it. Now, here's also how I'm going to explain masks. Masks are essentially, well, it's in the name. A mask is telling you, hey, what's in the footage, what's not in the footage. So if you add a mask, like here, this is just selecting whatever's in the square is what's going to show up in the video. Think of this as like a window, like a magic mirror type scenario. Um, or if you don't want to do it that way, you can click the inverse, and this will remove anything you hover over. So you can see like right here. But since I want to just keep him in the footage and get rid of this, leftovers, I'm going to come in here and use the regular mode. Uh, Now, it does start here. So this is how you would animate a mask. First, we need to make sure we have the right size. And position right here, we're going to use our keyframes. Walk a little bit forward. And then all the way here. And then add another marker to your end of the footage. Now, I do need to find where he actually was popping up. I did not. Oh, there we go. As you can see, the footage is not the best example, but this is for tutorial purposes. So we are going to take the text and put it on the bottom layer of or I guess I have to do that. Apparently, you got to drag it. And we can always resize our text. And there we go. Now you can see this isn't the perfect one. This isn't the perfect footage because the fact that it's clipping through, but this is how you would do this 3D text effect where it's like in your background. Now, the next thing I'm going to teach you is how to use green screens. Drag and drop your footage into the timeline. Don't stop there, it's not fair, fine cry. Click remove background and chroma key please. Click the color picker quicker, cause this green is sick as liquor is heck. Then select with respect, man, your background's color until it's correct. Then you're done for real. End song! So after you do that, if your color is not completely removed, so like say it's like it still got some of your green, you can still change your intensity to go up to remove more of it, obviously. Uh, so the green screen is actually one of the easiest things to do here. Now, sometimes you will have a lot of like background stuff. Um, so if you ever get too much of say this is right here the shadow, there's a shadow cleanup right here, but that usually adds more green. So I would stick with just raising your intensity until there is no green left. Okay, so after we have done, we can check our footage. Okay, that's pretty good. Our next thing we're going to be doing is animating text. Animating text is pretty easy in CapCut. I mean, it does it for other programs. You would use presets, usually the Adobe products. Uh, so if you want to do some like neat little animations with your text, you can come over here to the animation tab. Now, obviously, this is probably one of the easiest things to learn, so I'm not going to go in too quick, but you just click on whatever animation you want to pop in. Down here, change how fast you want it to be. The faster the slower the animation is going to be. So if you want it to be really slow, you do that, or if you want it to be really fast, well, that's so fast that it actually doesn't work. Obviously, there's quite a few that are premium. Uh, the different tabs are the different types of animation. So this animation is going in, out is out, and loop just means it's going to be doing it the whole time. So for instance, this color glitch effect or this little floaty effect, uh, literally one of the easiest things to do. And similarly, if you want to apply effects to your footage, you would go up here to the little effects tab and you could select whatever you would like. If you want to fade in or you want this cinematic opening effect. This is the least serious video. Here, let me turn once again. If it does pick up, if it picks up too much background, increase your intensity. That seems like a pretty decent video, I'd say. But I'm sorry this video was a little rushed in the end. I have been working on this video for about 4 days now, and I am trying to get it ended. Um, you can probably figure what took me so much long on this video, but I appreciate you watching, and for more tutorials, please come back. Uh, I will try to pick up my pace with the next editing things. I need to rewrite things because I try to make a lesson that is easy to learn and where things are related to each other. Because if I'm just teaching you a bunch of random information, I feel like that isn't the proper way. So I am trying to take my time with these videos, even if they are a little rushed. I appreciate you watching. Have an amazing day.